The Lady Jags are coached by Carlos Funches, who took over the program when Sandy Pugh resigned and went to Prairie View A&M. Margaret Richards, the third-year coach, coming in here in this rebuilding, trying to rebuild the program, and she's done really good at that so far, improving year in and year out. So a battle of young coaches as the tip-off is underway, and Southern wins the tip. So what do you think A&M needs to do to try and bounce back here this evening?
Well, it's no secret what we saw last week, and I think Richards pointed to it that, you know, in the fourth quarter, we can't just score just 8 points. We have to score more. We have to be more efficient on offense. We have to slow it down. Our point guards, they have to make the passes, and they have to make the necessary shots in order to get them over the hump, basically.
What do you think, Josh? What do you think A&M can do to try and win here this evening?
I mean, they just need to take their time and take these smart shots and play. You know, they're a very physical defensive team. So, you know, they run their game through the defense. You know, defense win game. So we're going to look forward to see what their defense do tonight.
And we have a foul on the court right now. And A&M will keep the possession at the free throw line is number 15, Kenya Pai. So on the court for A&M, your starting five, number 4, Jamaica Cobb, number 5, Nigeria Jones, number 15, Kenya Pai, who is at the free throw line, number 23, Deshauna Harper, number 44, Ashlyn Dotson for Southern, number 2, Aleric Scott, number 4, Skylar Obear, number 5, Dania Charles, number 11, Rashanti Coward, and number 24, Jaden Towner.
And, you know, going back to last week's game, I mean, Richards pretty much stated after the game that when the going gets tough, we have to stay tough and stay determined and not let it strike us when we make our mistakes. I think that was the key factors. He said when they made mistakes, they kind of just plundered down a bit, but they have to get tough, and, you know, everything's not going to go your way, but that doesn't mean you have to give up necessarily.
Yeah, I can see what she means by that. And against ASU, they just seem to be really fatigued. And honestly, to a degree, she admitted they were outcoached. And I think tonight they have to just play smarter basketball. But despite the sloppy play, they still took ASU to the limit. But in the final 5 minutes, the Lady Hornets just ended up running away with it as A&M were playing too fatigued, just trying to keep pace with that ASU offense.
But, you know, that was last week, Reg. And you know what, guys? If they can beat the #1 team in the SWAC conference, hey, you forget about what happened last week.
Yeah, you're right about that, and we'll see if A&M can do just that, and we're all confident that they can. As Jamaica Cobb, right now the ball handler for A&M, driving right. She'll give it up to Harper. Harper takes a dribble over to Jones. Jones put up 18 points in the loss against ASU. One of the key scorers and contributors for this Lady Bulldog team, as Harper puts up a floater, and it's no good. Rebounded by Southern, and that's Obear bringing the ball up the court for the Lady Jags.
And you know, Red, A&M, they started the season off strong, so they have a great chance to win this game tonight. You know, they once was the #1 team, so it's going to be the battle. It's going to be a battle tonight.
Well, this SWAC race is really interesting. If you look at the teams ranked at the top 5 teams, Southern, Grambling, Prairie View, A&M, and State, they're all sitting there separated by a game and a half. So if A&M wins here tonight, they'll be just a half game out of first, probably going to take over second spot ahead of Grambling. Whereas for Southern, if they win, they'll maintain their first place standing in the conference. Jones puts up the corner 3 in and out, and that was the name of the game as well against ASU. A lot of missed threes going in and out for A&M. So do you think A&M should focus more on the three-point shot as the season goes on, knowing that they can't just play defense for the entire year?
I wouldn't say necessarily go for the three-pointer. Go for the shots that are always going to be open towards you, and that's pretty much them in the mid-range. You know, Richard said that, you know, we have to make layups and free throws. That's the key factors. So pretty much you have to rely on that mid-range and slow range, but that defense is going to carry you. But also, you know, you have to find those easy buckets.
And Deshauna Harper gets the foul at the rim in transition, assisted from Nigeria Jones, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Talking about an easy
one
bucket.
more.
And I totally agree, Jalen. I mean, you know, you it's hard to dwell on the three-point shot. So it's best to take your chance with any shot you can get.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, before everybody was crazed on the three-point shot, it was either you live by or you die by, and a lot of people just lost by the three-pointers. I mean, they look good going in, but the more you took them, they didn't necessarily go back. They didn't necessarily go in all the time. So you failed, and you lost a mid-range game that you could have been winning by.
And Shauna Harper makes the and one free throw. It's 4-0. And yeah, I think A&M kind of lost themselves a little bit. But what's interesting is this: despite the way they lost, they're now number 2 in the conference in terms of total defense. And Coach Richards, she was a great defensive player in college, and she's instilled that philosophy into her players. So if we know one thing about A&M, they're going to always play a great defense no matter who the opponent is.
You know, that says a lot to be second in the conference with defense. I mean, you know, each year this team gets better and better, and by the more time they play with each other, they're going to get even better to where they will succeed in that number 1 spot for the SWAC.
And right now, currently in the SWAC in terms of total defense, Prairie View A&M. The Lady Bulldogs will play them later on this season. But sticking to defense, Southern coming into this game 6th overall in defense, giving up about 65 points per game this year. So we're going to see the test. We're going to see who will win this battle in a test of wills here this evening. And it was kicked out of bounds. And number 5, Dania Charles, couldn't find anyone open, so she had to force out of bounds on an A&M player. But 4-0, Lady Bulldogs still lead the Lady Jacks. Almost stolen by the Bulldogs. Corner 3, money for number 4, Skylar O'Bear, out of White Castle, Louisiana. And it's now 4-3 A&M, and Ashlyn Dotson gets the easy layup in transition, and it's now 6-3 Lady Bulldogs, and they increased to a 3-point lead with just under 7 to play in the first quarter.
Exactly. That was just an easy assist to Dotson. And, I mean, we always emphasize on they need to take it slow. They need to take it slow, watch open opportunities. But, you know, when you're playing fast-paced and you see somebody open and the shot is there, then you have no choice but to give it to them.
And Ashlyn Dotson with a great block at the rim. And I got to say this, I love Ashlyn Dotson as a player. But I have to say, defensively, she has not been there all the time for Coach Richards. And I think that's why I see Alexis Evans coming in and trying to make up for the defense that Ashlyn Dotson lacks. But just now, a great block on the drive by Southern.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you, Reggie, because, I mean, Dotson can also benefit her team defensively as well. So it's pretty much a pick your poison, basically, with the 2 players.
And I totally agree with that. I mean, Coach Margaret Rich, she coached these players up. You know, you got Nigeria Jones, Ashley Dotson. She do her job down low. And, you know, you got Deshauna Harper. They play very physical on the defensive side.
Exactly. Just when Dotson is not being good on defense like she should be, Evans picks up the pace. But then when Evans doesn't go, Dotson picks up the pace. Now, it's scary, gentlemen, when we see both of them have a defensive presence on the court. Now, that's a whole different story.
I mean, when you talk about Dotson and Evans, they're 6'2" and 6'3" respectively. And I guess I can see what you're saying. Alexis Evans gives Dotson that compliment that she needs in the low post that they lacked last year.
I mean, Reg, I kind of agree with you about Ashley Dotson. I mean, the reason being she lacks on defense because her fatigue. I mean, she get tired real fast.
Yeah.
So that could be the problem right there.
And then we have a foul on the court. Kenya Pye committed the foul against Southern. That will send at the free throw line number 12, Courtney Parson out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And here we go. First free throw attempt by Parson is no good off the left iron. It'll clank. Courtney Parson this year right now shooting 42% from the field, 50% from the three-point line, but not really a three-point shooter. Only put up 2 threes so far on the season. But she shoots 58% from the free throw line, so it's a real make-or-miss situation with her. And she'll miss both. And number 24, Tierra Dark, who just subbed in for A&M, will get the cleanup crew going with that beautiful rebound. Spin, drive, down to Evans. Easy money, easy picking. And it's now 8-3. A&M leading the top team in the conference right now.
And, you know, Reg, I love Tierra Dark game. I mean, she's not scared to drive to the basket. You know, she fight through contact, and she finds the open player. So she's a great player, man.
Most definitely. And, you know, Evans, she was just right there inside the post. Nobody on her. Easy bucket. And right now, I mean, these Lady Bulldogs are putting on a great performance in this first quarter.
Here we go, the step through. She couldn't get it to go. O'Bear.
It seems like the Lady Tigers, they're pretty much are trying to do on the threes. They're trying to use the three-pointers to get them back in this game.
Well, I think the Lady Jags, I think one of the key factors going into tonight, it could be playing sort of revenge basketball. We got to keep this in mind, gentlemen. This team last year was the #1 team in the conference. They're the defending SWAC regular season champions. They went 14-4 in conference play, and they ended up going to the conference tournament final, losing to their arch rival Grambling State in a heartbreaker, 82-77. So I think they're on a revenge tour a little bit this year, but we've seen teams who've been on revenge tours, it doesn't work out the best for them. Just talk to Michigan in college football. So here we go, moving the ball around, trying to find the open man, and it's no good. And A&M playing great defense.
That's right, the Lady Jags, they are still using that three perimeter. I guess they don't want to go inside the post.
Parson down low, and it's a bad pass, almost picked away. Sanira Moore had her handle on it, but it was swiped out of her hands by Alexis Evans.
I know, we were seeing the post matchup between Evans and Moore.
And we have a quick timeout on the court. A&M leading 8-3 against the Southern Lady Jags. Lady Bulldogs looking really good as we go into this timeout right now. How do you feel about the Lady Bulldogs and what they've done so far? The honors program at one point in time, and they love to honor Black History Month and all their significant black figures. One of the plans that they wanted to do my freshman year was to have sit-ins on the bus where everyone would just be silent and say nothing to honor those who did the sit-ins at lunch counters, at restaurants, to show that they pay respect to our black culture and black history. Pull up J, no good for number 21, Carnethia Brown, and in transition for the Southern Lady Jags, number 12, Courtney Parson. She'll kick it back out to Brittany Rose. Brittany Rose, another X factor of mine for the Lady Jaguars, I must say. Last time out against Pine Bluff, she put in 21 points, 8 of 13 from the field, very efficient. So we'll see if A&M can shut her down as Alexis Evans tried to go for the block. But
she was too aggressive on that one.
Yeah, that's right. She'll commit the foul, but hey, I'm fine with that. Don't give up easy shots. Make them go to the free throw line. Make them earn it.
Going back to what you said, Reg, about the Black History Month, I mean, it's amazing, man. We honor these people, what they fought for, fought for our rights, what we have now. It's an awesome time for our culture.
But, Black history is bigger than just a month. It's a year-round thing. You always want to pay respect to those who come before you to pave this way, to pave this path. We want to thank A&M for giving us the chance to commentate these games for you all, representing a SWAC school, a very prestigious SWAC institution indeed. Here we go. Second free throw attempt for Parson. And you can hear the cheerleaders behind me screaming their lungs out as Southern makes the free throw. So it's now 8-6.
Hey, every time they did scream, they missed it, so.
It's been pretty effective. In transition is Parson. She'll kick it over to O'Bear. Parson trying to direct the team, trying to run the offense. She'll drive, kicks it back out to Rose. Rose having the hot hand. She put up 16 points as well just about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago against, I think, Mississippi Valley State. Crossover, but loses her handle, and that is number 10, Lauren McKee, playing scrappy defense just now.
I mean, that's what the Lady Bulldogs, that's their bread and butter, the defense. If you're going to play one-on-one, you better have some handles because they will strike that ball away from you.
Exactly. A&M, one of the better teams in the SWAC in terms of steals per game. They're in the top half of the conference. As Ashlyn Dotson gets the foul with the hook shot, averaging about 8 steals per game.
We've been talking about these Lady Bulldogs and their defense. What would you guys prefer? Would you have a mediocre defense and a great offense, or vice versa?
I guess you can say I'd rather have great defense because at least I know if our team gets hot, then we're going to be able to maintain that momentum for a good minute. Whereas with great offense, you can be a great shooting team, but you can easily go 0 for 60 on any given night and be down by 20 points.
And I also think I'll choose defense because, I mean, defense wins game. And, you know, offense comes easily. Once you play defense, you can swing the ball, get open shots. You know, take your time, man. You can make some shots. So defense is the most important game of basketball.
Most definitely, most definitely. I mean, you know, we have some teams, they just shoot and they just say, hey, we can go 0-20, but we're just going to keep shooting until it goes in, whereas the defense can take over and they'll pretty much uplift the offense.
And A&M will get the ball right back, and inbounding is Jamaica Cobb. And, I mean, to echo those sentiments, that's exactly what A&M has done this season. Like we said before, they're top 2 in the conference. Coach Richards every year has improved this team with a beautiful drive, plus the and one by Nigeria Jones, improving defensively year in and year out. You have a very cohesive unit, and get this, not a single senior. This is a 4-year squad that she has built up, and I think they're going to be mainstays in this conference for a while.
Hey, Reg, that prediction coming, man. I'm telling you.
It's coming. It's coming indeed. At the free throw line, Nigeria Jones to get one more. It's up. It's no good off the right iron. A&M almost got their own rebound back.
Well, you know, from the Lady Bulldogs, you know, we've seen their struggles, especially last year in high-key games that they lost because of just they was too quick to shoot. But, I mean, you know, it takes time for a team to build chemistry and to really have a relationship together to understand each other, to build up a great record as these Lady Bulldogs have been doing. So, I mean, just the great coaching of Richards and what she has instilled into these Lady Bulldogs is showing every game, whether they lose or win.
And I think that's right, because I mean chemistry that makes up your whole team. You know, you got to get to know one another to feel how each other play the game.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, any team that comes against the Lady Bulldogs, they just don't think, oh, it's gonna be a cake. I'm gonna get 30 points. As soon as they get the ball and that turnover happens, it's like, well, hold up, I gotta play now. I mean, that's how the Lady Bulldogs have been playing these opponents, and that's how the opponents have been looking at these Lady Bulldogs.
And number 4, Skylar O'Bear, gets the free throw to go in to make it 11-8.
And I like it how the Lady Bulldogs, sorry to cut you off, Rich. I like how the Lady Bulldogs have not let the Lady Jags have a lead yet over them.
That's just balanced, team-oriented basketball. I mean, defensively, they know their roles, and they're not going to sit there and make a defensive mistake that's detrimental to the team as a whole. You play your role, you do your job, and as a team, you are successful because of it. And the beautiful offensive vision by Dotson to Tierra Dark. Dark can't finish, but Cobb with the cleanup, and it's now 13-8.
And that's what we've seen with the Lady Bulldogs. I mean, very high in second chance points.
Here we go. Let's see what Southern can do now. Can they respond? Trying to find the open woman. Over the corner 3, money for number 3, Brittany Rose. And I'm telling you, A&M really needs to keep an eye on Brittany Rose. She can heat up at any point in time, and she's a very efficient scorer. One of the better efficient scorers on her team. Brittany Rose puts up 8.6 points per game. But in conference basketball, she's a solid 15 a night. So who do you think A&M should put on Brittany Rose to try and slow her down?
I mean, I don't think they should run, a man offense on her. I think they're doing a great job of staying in the zone, guarding the zone and, denying her the ball or denying her passes.
And, I mean, we've seen from, heck, each of these Lady Bulldog players, I mean, everybody can guard somebody in that team. So, I mean, just pick your poison once again of who can guard her, and I bet you they can stop her whenever they want.
Let's see what A&M can do to close out the first quarter. Over to Pye, corner 3 to close out, no good. Seconds winding down, 2-1. Rose chucks it up and makes it. Oh my goodness. And Southern closes out the first quarter with an insane 3-point Hail Mary by Brittany Rose, 15-14. It's a battle of 2 top 5 SWAC teams. We're going to be in for another great game, fellas.
and I'm looking forward to it, Reg. I mean, I love a great game, the competitiveness, you know, the fans, they get rowdy up, players get rowdy up. It's a great sight to see.
Oh boy, could that three slow down A&M's momentum a little bit, maybe?
It's only the end of the first quarter. We'll have to see how this plays out at least about the second quarter.
Oh boy.
Hey, it's just like what Coach Herm Edwards once said. You play to win the game. So you shot at 3. What we will see in the fourth quarter, that's what will show everything. You play to win the game.
You play to win
The game. That's it.
Oh my goodness! And there you see on the sidelines, Coach Richards trying to dial up an offense, trying to let her defense know, hey, just because we gave up that 3 does not mean that we have not played great basketball. They had to struggle to stay close to us. We're playing just fine, playing great. You got to keep up that momentum. That's what it's all about.
No, Reg, I mean, the way the Lady Bulldogs play, I mean, they're known to bite first. So, you know, they're going to stay with the momentum, and, you know, they're going to keep causing turnovers because they're a very defensive team. So the momentum is always going to be there.
Oh, boy. This is going to be an interesting second quarter, fellas. This is going to be really interesting. But 15-14 at the end of 1. Very balanced attack from everybody on A&M right now. And for the Lady Bulldogs, I have to say, so far, very, very balanced. Jamaica Cobb has a bucket. Jones is 2 points. Harper is 3. Dotson is 3. Dark and Evans both have 2 each. Interesting fact here, A&M is the only team, they're the only team in the SWAC Women's Basketball Conference to not have a double-digit scorer. The only team. Everyone else has a player putting up 10 points or more. They're the only team that doesn't have a person doing that.
Well, that just shows you that they play as a team, and it really doesn't matter who has the ball in their hands. Everybody's going to score. Everybody's going to get a slice of the pie, Reg.
I mean, when you look at some of these team highs, you're talking about Dotson leading games at nights where she's put up 16 and 15. I hear Jones put up 21 against Mississippi Valley State. She also put up 18 against ASU. Lauren McKee, for the first time in a year, she put up 14 in a road victory against Pine Bluff. I mean, the scoring goes on and on and on. Where you look at these team highs and you see just how many players have come through and been the star player for A&M night in night out.
Well, I mean, that's what I would prefer anyways from my team. I wouldn't want to have just a one scorer that, okay, we know we can lock up on her and we can just stop her. Once we stop her, everybody else is just going to shut down. No. You may have a Harper to come out. You may have Cobb to come out. You may have Dotson, Evans. You do not know. So, once again, hey, I'm fine with that. They all can score whenever they want to. If Evans has a good game, Dark has a good game, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a team chemistry they have.
Yeah, you know, the Lady Bulldogs, they kind of remind me of the Boston Celtics. I mean, they have players on the court that, you know, play well, and they have players come off the bench that they put up high points too.
That's right. Ain't nobody trying to start friction between their teammates, ain't they? Since you want to compare them to Boston.
Dotson's first, team's first.
You know, Boston the best team in the East, man.
Line for the Jaguars with 2 shots is number 2, O'Leary Scott.
That'll be a conversation after the game is over with, Josh.
Free throw attempt is no good.
Struggling
for
real early.
Number 2,
They are struggling real
Lanisha
early.
Lagarde. Second free throw also no good for Lagarde. And Jamaica Cobb will bring the ball up the court.
And, you know, the Lady Jags are struggling early with these free throw attempts, Reg and Josh. And, I mean, what happens when it comes to just a free throw to win the game for the Lady Jags? Could they do it?
I think they can. I think A&M all around can honestly beat anybody in the conference. As Deshauna Harper misses a 3, I think A&M a key for them this year is being able to close. That's an issue that they had last year, and that's a part of the growing pains. Learning
most
how to
definitely.
close and learning how to win games, that's a part of the growing pains and the growing process when you're rebuilding year in and year out.
Well, you know, the best ways to win is learn how to lose first, Reggie and Josh.
That's right.
You know, if you never lose, then how do you really know what it takes to win a game? If it comes to you easy, then you're not really going to care. You're going to lose focus. But if you're losing and there are key moments that pretty much devastated your season, and then you come back next season and you learn from that, then it helps even more.
Yeah, and that's right, Jalen. I mean, it's like you go into the finals and, you know, you lose the finals. And, you know, you've been here before, so you know what to expect next time y'all come to this time. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's a great answer.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, anybody who is a perfect star, you know, they lose in the finals. No matter who you are, you lose in a big game, and you learn from it. And as we saw, number 23, Deshauna Harper missing the three. Looks like a foul off Dodson. It's Lady Jags basketball.
You know, speaking of Brittany Rose, I mean, she's 100% from the field, man. I mean, they need to find a way to slow her down, and, you know, try to make this lead larger.
Oh yeah, she's hot right now, you know. But I think one of these Lady Bulldogs, they're gonna be the fire extinguisher to cool her off right quick.
Well, fellas, today is Be the Match Day, sponsored by Alabama A&M University and Greater Huntsville chapters of the Lynx. If you are between 18 and 44 willing to donate to any patient in need, text AAMU to 61474 to learn how you can save a life. It's also a friendly challenge between A&M and everyone else in the SWAC to see which institution can get the most registrations. Thousands of patients with blood cancers and other deadly diseases can be cured with a blood stem cell donation from a genetically matched donor. Text AAMU to 61474. You could be someone's cure. Donation is safe, free, and confidential.
Fouls on the Jaguars, number 32. Siandra McGee. McGee's first, team second, into the ballgame.
Well, right now, fellas, we have a close game with the Bulldogs leading the Lady Jags just by one in the second quarter. I mean, what is it going to take for the Bulldogs to, you know, keep having this lead and not letting the Lady Jags take over?
Don't play out of yourself. I think I keep referencing the ASU game for a reason. That is your rival, and whenever you play your rival, you're going to really find out who you are as a team and what you need to work on the most as a team. And when I look at A&M, they did not play discipline. They played out of themselves. They weren't really themselves. Despite the comeback, you could tell they were trying to be more than what they should have been. And because of that, they lost late in the game, and they couldn't get the job done. But tonight, they're showing to their coach, we know our mistakes. We're going to come in here. We're going to prove to everyone in the SWAC just what kind of team we are. And we know they can play great basketball. Look at the record. Look at the stats. They're a great all-around team, top to bottom. And they're a young team, and I know they're going to be really scrappy, hungry to try and get this W here tonight.
And you're right, Reg. I mean, they're doing a better job of swinging the ball, taking better shots, but the problem is they have to knock them shots down. I mean, you know, all these missed shots can kill momentum. So they have to take their time and knock these shots down.
So let's see what A&M can do to try and build on to the lead that they have now. Jones with the basketball, trying to move the ball, swing the ball around, down low to Alicia Davis. Couldn't get the handle on it. And in transition is Southern. Here we go, trying to waste some clock is Courtney Parson. Playing point guard, back over, trying to run the clock, trying to waste some more clock off.
Well, it doesn't matter what you do, because as soon as you get a pass, it's going to be about 2 or 3 defenders of the Bulldogs all over you.
As Alicia Davis lost her handle on the basketball, and the referees will say it's out on her, and she will come out of the game. And coming in for her is Alexis Evans, one of the new faces, one of the newcomers for Coach Richards this season. Inbounding for the Lady Jags is Parson. The three, no good by Rashanti Coward.
And that was a close one. I mean, she was not guarded. Nobody was even on her. That was an easy three to probably tie this game back up.
That's one of the few times where Southern's had open looks here tonight, which is a great testament to the defense A&M has played so far. It's been very low scoring. A&M, right now, they currently rank 9th in the SWAC in terms of total offense, but that's a testament to the great defense they play, so they don't need a high-potent offense to win games.
Oh, yeah. Especially when, when the Lady Jags have the ball, it's a game of hot potato because there's somebody coming right to them, and they're just trying to hurry up and pass, and before you know it, the clock is running down. They just shoot up something, hoping it goes in.
Here we go. Let's see what Southern will do. She tries to get it down low to Williams, but she couldn't.
And that's a terrible play.
Here we go. Back over to Cobb for A&M. Jones jabs, shoots, no good, and it's rebounded by Rose in transition.
And that's the defense I was talking about from Jamaica Cobb. I mean, that's a great job boxing that man out and going for the steal.
And the beautiful turnaround jumper, no good, but number 32, Ciandra McGee with the cleanup, and she gets the foul. And it's now 17-16, Southern down by a point.
Number 32, Ciandra McGee. She's fouled play by Bulldogs, number 32, Alexis Evans. Evans, third, team's score.
And at the free throw line, number 32, Ciandra McGee out of Terry, Mississippi. 6'3" forward, a freshman for Coach Funches.
And right now, we need to keep a close eye out for Alexis Evans. That's her third foul already, and this is only the second quarter, gentlemen.
Here we go, Cobb with the ball. Trying to run point, gives it back up to Brown. Harper with the basketball. She's going to drive. Back over to Brown, trying to find the open woman. Jones, she'll drive. Can't find anybody open. Gets it down low to Cobb, and we have a foul on the court.
Foul is on the Jaguars, number 32, Ciandra McGee.
And it is against Southern, and that's against Ciandra McGee. We have a timeout on the court. A&M up 17-16. They've had the lead for basically the entire game. Southern has not had the lead yet. Can the Lady Jags try and find a way to get the lead out of A&M's grasp? What do you think?
Well, the A&M Bulldogs, they're playing great defense, so it's hard for them to score the ball. So they're going to have to find a way to slow this defense team down and try to take open shots.
And we're back. And the 2019 Toyota SWAC men's and women's basketball tournament returned to the Magic City on Friday and Saturday, March the 15th and 16th, as the league's top 8 teams look to bring home championship titles with 2 NCAA tournament berths on the line. You don't want to miss the fun-filled affair scheduled to be held at the Bill Harris Arena at the Birmingham Crossplex. For more information, visit www.swag.org/Toyota Watch Tournament. Toyota SWAC tournament, my mistake, or call 205-251-75773. That's the 2019 Toyota SWAC men's and women's basketball tournament Friday, Saturday, March the 15th and the 16th at Bill Harris Arena at the Birmingham Crossplex.
Ooh, I'm excited, fellas. It's back in my hometown. It'll be really good to see A&M win it, on my home soil. I don't mean to, brag a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead and toot your horn right there.
Toot. Oh, my goodness. Last year, for the past couple of years, the SWAC tournament for men's and women's basketball here in the conference has been in Houston, and they're going to bring it back to the 205 headquarters of the SWAC conference. Let's see if Southern can build on this lead, or will A&M make the comeback? Down by 2, 17-19 with 3:20 to go in the first half. Driving is Parson, and we got a travel on the court against Courtney Parson. Oh boy, and A&M will get the ball right back as Shamika Cobb will inbound.
And that's good defense by Tierra Dart. I mean, she kept her hands up, and caused the travel.
And no matter what they say, ladies and gentlemen, traveling still exists in basketball.
What you trying to say?
Hey, I'm just saying, I see sometimes the player takes 4 or 5 steps. I'm like, whoa.
What player are you talking about?
Hey, we ain't got to
We
describe.
all know what player he's talking
Whoa,
about.
there's players.
Players.
It's just a microscope on one.
And Tierra Dart misses the go-ahead 3, rebounded by Alicia Davis. And we know what player you're talking about. We know. You can say players all you want. There's only one person that comes to mind when you think of traveling.
I don't think that's traveling. I think that's just skills, man. Just skills.
It's just a Euro step.
Yeah, times 3.
Yeah, times about 5, an extra 2.
An extra 2, but it's not a travel. And at the free throw line is number 5, Dania Charles out of New Orleans, Louisiana, NOLA. First free throw attempt is good for Charles.
Into the ball game for the Bulldogs, it's number 10.
Second free throw attempt. And the second one clanks off the back iron. Cobb with the rebound in transition.
And the Lady Jags are still struggling in that free throw.
But there was a double team, a successful double team by the Lady Jags. It's number 3, Brittany Rose, and number 4, Skylar O'Bear come in to shut down the fast-breaking transition. Another timeout is on the court. The Lady Bulldogs are down by 3, but it's still anyone's contest. We'll be back in a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back coming out of that timeout. And there you saw on your monitor or screen or TV at home, whatever you're watching us on. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for seeing us tonight. You saw Dr. Bernice A. King. We're going to honor her. AAMU honoring Black History Month. That's February 12th at 6:30 p.m. The location has not been named, but you can always RSVP by contacting Alabama A&M University.
You know, Red, excuse me, but Jamaica Cobb, man, I mean, she's a very tough player. For her height, she's banging down low tonight, man. I mean, it's crazy.
Most definitely. But, you know, the Lady Bulldogs, you know, they can't just let this three-point lead get to them. I mean, we see Cobb right now, an attempted free throw miss, but they can't let this lead get to them. They have to keep on grinding and try to get this lead back. And, you know, guys, the last time the Lady Jags and the Lady Bulldogs played, it was last year when the Lady Jags beat the Lady Bulldogs 58-46.
And Cobb will miss both free throws, and Southern will be in transition. And here tonight, I see to my left, that is President Dr. Andrew Hougini Jr. of AAMU showing his support for the Lady Bulldogs. And it's a missed 3 by the Jags, rebounded by number 22, Tanira Moore. Rose trying to find somebody down low. Moore will post up. Tough post up by Moore. And the basket is called off as A&M will get the possession right back with the foul.
You know, it's amazing how the Lady Bulldogs don't have this lead while committing these turnovers for the Lady Jags.
I mean, you know, Jalen, and them, they're missing a lot of shots right now, so they have to find their game plan, you know, stick with that and do a better job to knock down these shots.
Well, let's see what Coach Richards has dialed up. Cobb with the basketball, trying to find the open woman. Davis posting up. Harper just ran from under the basket, trying to get open for her teammate. Cobb will drive, left side dribble, and we have a foul on the court, but it's a travel.
Looks like they're going to talk this over right here.
Oh, boy, let's see what's going on.
Is it a travel or a foul?
And they're going to give it back to Southern. The Lady Jags lead 20-17 with 1:48 to go in the first half. Hold on a second. What are the referees doing here? And they're going to give the possession back to A&M, and Lauren McKee will inbound for the Lady Bulldogs. That was a weird sequence of events, gentlemen. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, you talk about your delayed call. But either way, it's the Lady Bulldogs basketball back. Ball back. Tongue-tied, gentlemen.
And she will inbound to Davis. McKee with the basketball now. McKee for the 3 has been my go-to term this year. She has put up some crazy clutch threes so far this season.
And you're right, Reg. I mean, she's amazing three-point shooter. I mean, she came through for her team plenty of times. So I'm looking forward to see that tonight.
Most definitely. And I think we kind of underrate her because we put more attention on Evans and Dotson and even Cobb at sometimes. But Lauren McKee, she's a great scorer. She's a great basketball player just in general.
And Cobb will inbound to Harper. Not just her, but Deshauna Harper as well. Deshauna Harper, honestly, in my opinion, the most underrated of anyone on this team. She does it all, and she'll drive in the hoop with the foul. I call out her name. She goes to work. I'm not a fortune teller, but goodness, Deshauna Harper, she is to me the heart and soul of not only this Lady Bulldog team, but of this program and for the students, because she plays so hard night in and night out.
And that's right, Reg. I mean, she's a great player, man. I love her game. She, you know, she can dribble, take it to the hoop just like after that play, man. So she's a great player, and she hustles real hard.
Oh, yeah, she is definitely good on offense, but on defense, she is like a ghost. When the opponents have the ball, she appears out of nowhere and just swipes the ball away, getting a steal. I mean, she is a great presence on the defense.
And we have another traveler on the court with just under 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. A&M, let's see if they can take advantage and possibly tie or even take the lead with just a few seconds to go in the first half.
And you talk about a tale of two quarters. In the first quarter, it was the Lady Bulldogs up 15-14.
And it's another and one for Deshauna Harper. I don't mean to cut you off, sir. The Lady Bulldogs tie the game, led by Deshauna. No. Harper's called for the offensive foul.
That's a bad call, man. They need to review that, man. That's a bad call.
Oh, my goodness. Final 30 seconds.
And that could have changed the momentum of the game.
22-20. Southern leading by 2.
That just changed the momentum of my game. That's a bad call.
Going up from the logo to the three-point line.
A low-scoring second quarter for both teams.
We have a foul on the court as number 5, Dania Charles, tried to drive in. Oh, my goodness. Everyone's instant reaction was, okay, that's an and one. Harper got another one to go. And then the call is against Harper herself.
Hey, but we know in sports you cannot just keep putting your head down on one call. You have to keep playing it. If you keep relying on that should have been a penalty or not, you're just going to be making mistakes, thinking back over it over and over again.
Sounds like you're talking about the Saints right now.
Come on, I'm not a Saints fan. I'm not going to say anything about that. And it's missed.
You guys and your comparisons are hilarious.
So we have just under 15. Oh, they're going to reset the shot clock. So we have 15.6 seconds left. 15.6 seconds left in the first half. Southern leading by 2, 22-20. Second free throw attempt goes in, so it's now a 3-point lead. A&M can either try and go for the tie or make it a 1-point game. Here we go. Clock winding down. Harper brings the ball up the court. Over to McKee. Will she take the three? No, she will waste clock.
I mean, this possession, with 2 or 3, as long as you get something on the board before the halftime, it'll be okay.
And Harper tries to force it up. It's no good. She had the left-right crossover, but it did not work. She thought she got the foul. No call from the rep. Going into halftime, A&M down by 3, 23-20. The Lady Jags have the early advantage, but the Lady Bulldogs not out of it by 1 bit, playing great basketball early on against the top team in the conference. Oh, boy, what a game so far, gentlemen. What can you take away from the game right now before we go into halftime?
Well, right now, I mean, as we saw in that second quarter, I mean, this is a defensive game. I mean, in the first quarter, it was 15-14 with the Bulldogs leading. The Bulldogs only scored 5, while Southern scored 9. I mean, it's a defensive game, but the Bulldogs have to do better on offense and not really focus on the threes, but in the mid-range.
And that's right, Jay. I mean, they're doing a great job on the defensive side, but they have to make these shots. They're missing free throws, missing three-pointers, missing jumpers. So they're getting smart shots, but they have to knock them down. So they have to gain their confidence, knock down these shots.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, right now, we enter in halftime, 23-20. Listen, it's halftime. You still have 2 more quarters. This score means nothing right now.
You can't count them out, man. I mean, these Lady Bulldogs are serious.
Well, once again, entering halftime, Lady Bulldogs down 23-20 against the Lady Jags. It's number 3 versus number 1 in SWAC play here at TM Elmore Gymnasium. Maybe see our cheerleaders down there on the court. And ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by AMU Athletics. I'm Reginald Reese here with Jalen Herford and Josh Bullard. We'll be back with you in just a little bit. Gymnasium, we're live here at Normal Hills, Alabama. Live on the campus of Alabama A&M University, where service is sovereignty. And this evening, the Lady Bulldogs, if you're just tuning in, they're taking on the Southern Lady Jaguars, down by 3, going into halftime, down 23-20. So we'll see if the Lady Bulldogs can make the comeback, and we're all confident that they can. In the first half, it has been a balanced attack, primarily led by players like Nigeria Jones, Ashlyn Dotson, and Alexis Evans, as well as others coming off the bench like Deshauna Harper and Jamaica Cobb, who was a really key starter in this game as well. But for Southern, it's been all Brittany Rose, as well as other players like Courtney Parsons. So we'll see who will step up in the second half for the AAMU Lady Bulldogs and the Southern Lady Jags.
Well, I think the tail of the second half, I hate to cut you off, Reggie.
I was going to ask you.
Exactly. See, I can see through the future too, just like both of y'all. Anyways, though. So I think in the second half, it's pretty much going to be the defense is good. I mean, that second quarter, Southern scored 9 and A&M scored 5, but you need more offense. I think the Lady Bulldogs are going to have to do more than just cause turnovers and just everything else. They're going to have to score more in order to win this game.
You know what I think, man? You know who half I think this is?
Who's half?
This A&M half, man. You know, Deshauna Harper finna have a great game this half. I can see it, man. You know, she left the game last half with a great half. So I'm looking forward to her, you know, get in one, doing them dribbling moves, you know, trying to get some open shots.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're inching closer and closer to the SWAC tournament. The 2019 Toyota SWAC tournament is held in Birmingham, Alabama. We return to the Magic City Friday and Saturday, March 15th and 16th. The league's top 8 teams look to bring home championship titles with 2 NCAA tournament berths on the line. You don't want to miss this fun-filled affair scheduled to be held at Bill Harris Arena at the Birmingham Crossplex. For more information, visit www.swac.org/Toyota SWAC Tournament or call 205-251-7573, 205-251-7573. That's the 2019 Toyota SWAC men's and women's basketball tournament Friday and Saturday, March 15th and 16th at Bill Harris Arena at the Birmingham Crossplex. Oh, boy. So the tournament field is shaping up pretty nicely. Right now, Southern sits first in the SWAC. A&M currently sits third, and the spot between first and fifth separated by a game and a half. So outside of A&M, would you give Southern the best shot at finishing as the #1 team going into the tournament?
I mean, from what their record has shown and what have they been playing, of course, yeah. I mean, and plus they're #1 right now. So, I mean, you know, it can go to anybody, but, you know, I can see Southern, but I can see our Lady Bulldogs taking over that #1 spot in a few upcoming days.
Well, outside of our Bulldogs, I think I can see the Grambling taking that #1 spot and upsetting the Southern. I mean, I'm looking forward to our ladies making it, and you know, but I really see, you know, Grambling trying to outside our ladies.
See, I agree with you, Josh. I think Grambling is really scary. You know, A&M, one of their early season losses came. Well, early conference losses came against Grambling, and they're a pretty dangerous team led by Shakila Hill. And, you know, I think that's going to be really, if you look at the top teams right now, A&M, they're balanced. Southern, it's more so Brittany Rose and Allyric Scott. For Grambling, they're led by Shakila Hill, putting up 25 points per game, and she leads. She's one of the top 3. She's one of the top 3 players in women's basketball in the country on free throw attempts and free throw makes.
I mean,
no joke.
She's a great player, man. I mean, watching her in action, you know, she leads her team, man. And, you know, she's a great captain and a great player. So she's tough to guard, you know. Last game against the Bulldogs, she score 30-some points. You know, she have double-doubles. You know, she's a great player and a tough player to guard.
I mean, oh boy, we got a pretty long season to go as it's a missed shot against A&M and Southern will bring the ball up the court. Oh boy, yeah, I'm interested to see how Grambling will manage Shaquilla Hill and to see how these other teams can defend her. If she's one of the top players in the country as far as getting to the free throw line and making free throws, she's top 3 in both categories, then you have a James Harden type player to worry about for everyone at the top. Let's see what A&M can do in response. Jamaica Cobb with the basketball back over to Kenya Pye. Pye trying to dribble around, trying to direct traffic. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting sight on the court. I just now realized it. Natalie Collins back on to the court. She has not seen action in basically 2 months. If you can see on her right wrist, she has an injury on her shooting hand. And she was their 3-point shot taker and maker last year, shooting 40% from the field. And they've really lacked a presence from deep. So we'll see if Natalie Collins' health has come back and she'll be good to go for the rest of the season. We're just trying to give her a chance to sort of work things out, go through the kinks, dust off the cobwebs. Is that a very good sight to see for A&M or what?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, Collins, she has that grit to her, just like Swing Cash. I mean, just both players can shoot. They can help out their team beneficial. I mean, sometimes they don't start, but once they come in, they make their presence known in the court for their team and against their opponents.
And you're right, Jalen. I mean, she came off last season. I mean, leading her teams in three-pointers. She's a great shooter, man. So it's going to be, if she can get off the night, it's going to be tough for the Southern tonight, man, because she's a great three-point shooter.
I mean, when you look at, she was one of my favorite players from last year. I got to say, to see her back is really a great sight. She's had that wrist brace on her for the past couple months, and I'm just thinking to myself, goodness, what are we going to do without one of our best pure shooters on the team? And they've held their own, 8-8 on the season in top 5, well, top 3 in the conference. I mean, with Collins back, that'll even be more of a force to be reckoned with if she can come back and maintain the form that she had from last season.
And not only she's a great shooter, she's a great defensive player, man. She's physical, you know. Coach Margaret Rich, she coach her players of being physical and hustling, you know. So I'm looking forward to see what she's going to bring tonight.
I mean, Collins, she's the 5'9" guard out of Louisville, Kentucky. She has a lot of size to her frame playing that guard position. So I got to say, that's a really, really good sight for everyone here in Bulldog Nation. And we have a quick timeout on the court. Southern leads 28-22 with 5:41 to go in the game. I mean, in the third quarter, So right now, Southern, they're up by 6. A&M off to somewhat of a slow start. We'll see what happens after this timeout. Here we go. And we're coming out of the timeout on the court. And at the free throw line for Southern, it's number 2. That was number 2, Lanishan Lagarde. And she will miss that last free throw just now. 28-22, A&M still down. Collins with the basketball to Dotson. In transition, blocked, but called for the foul. That Southern bench thought otherwise.
You know, Reg and Jalen, Southern been doing a great job of containing Ashlyn Dotson tonight. So what do you think Ashlyn Dotson needs to do to pick up her game this half?
I mean, Ashlyn Dotson really needs to just settle. I mean, she's a great face-up scorer. Me and Jalen were talking about this before the game. She's a great face-up scorer, and she does have a good back-to-the-basket game. But she plays the game so effortlessly sometimes and just makes it look so smooth and easy. Just find your inner mojo and just feel confident about your shot, and you'll get things to work for you as the game progresses.
Well, you know, looking at Dotson, you know, she plays with emotion. And so You know, she misses a basket, she misses a free throw, anything that just easy that she can do on a nightly basis. You know, she's hard on herself about it. You know, you can't be so hard on yourself. You know, if you miss a shot, you have to just keep going. And I think that's just her weakness. You know, she's too hard on herself.
And we have a travel on the court against Southern. A&M with the ball right back, looking to creep into the 6-point lead that the Lady Jacks have built over the past 5 minutes in the third quarter. Cobb with the basketball, trying to move things around. Here we go, trying to find Dotson. Dotson wanted to post up, but she won't. Pye with the basketball. She will go to the three-point line. Bounces it off of a Southern Lady Jag leg, and A&M will maintain possession. Have a quick timeout on the court right now. 28-22. A&M still down by 6. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the contest here at TM Elmore Gymnasium. Coming out of the timeout, A&M down by 6 still. Cobb with the basketball. Going up from the half-court logo, crossover, drive. Beautiful turnaround, and she'll get it to go. The spin lay-in works for Jamaica Cobb, and it's 28-24. A&M cuts the lead down to 4 points.
Ooh, and what a nice move. Nice spin. Saw the basket right there and took the shot.
And we have another foul on the court.
Well, you know, guys, you know what I just realized? Evans has not been back in the game since that second quarter, receiving her third foul. So I think Richards is trying to make sure she's good and ready to play when it's time to go in the fourth quarter.
And you're right, Jalen. I mean, with fouls like that on the player, it's hard. It's hard to, you know, try to stay in the game because, you know, you'll be an easy target on the floor.
Well, here's some quick updates from around SWAC play. Alabama State beats Alcorn State 76-63, winning by 13 there. Jackson State defeats Grambling State 77-74, and Prairie View A&M defeats Mississippi Valley State 75-65. So Grambling State goes down. That means if A&M wins, they will assuredly climb up to second in the SWAC. Let's see if they can get that to happen. As we have a foul on the court, Nigeria Jones tried to catch a wild pass, and she'll go down hard on the floor.
Fouls on the Jaguars, number 24, Jaden Towner. Towner second, team's fifth.
And at the free throw line, Nigeria Jones. Last game out, she put up 18 points in a very courageous effort.
Speaking of Nigeria Jones, man, I mean, she's a great player, man. She leads her team. You know, she keeps her team in the game. And she does a great job, man, as a point guard.
And it's a missed free throw by Nigeria Jones. I think with Nigeria Jones, she plays the point guard position really well. And I think she's one of the more underrated players in the entire conference. You don't see her numbers stand out on a stat sheet, but she, to me, when she gets hot, she's one of the best in the SWAC in terms of heating up and staying on fire. We have a double team by Southern. They're trying to get a turnover from A&M, and that will force a timeout on the court as Tierra Dark could not find the open woman. And the Southern Lady Jags lead 31-24, 3:57 to go in the third quarter. And their defense right now playing really tough and playing really hard, fellas. And we are back coming out of that timeout. Here we go. Tierra Dark with the basketball. Driving, trying to push the pace. She'll spin, puts up the jump shot, and it's money for Tierra Dark.
Talk about shooting for something.
31-26, A&M cuts the lead down to 5.
And that's that physicality I've been talking about Tierra Dark, man. I mean, she's amazing, man. She loves the body contact, man. She fights for it, and she makes the shot.
You know, the one thing I notice about Dark, when she goes on the free throw line, she doesn't stand right in the middle. She stands to the left.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's her strategy, and she just made the free throw to make it work, so I can't question it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, everybody has their own free throw rituals that they do to better encourage them to make the shot, of course.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, January basketball in the SWAC is almost over. On a Monday evening, A&M is still home here in Normal, Alabama, here in Huntsville, Alabama. They take on the Alcorn State Lady Braves at 5:30 p.m. Southern will stay on the road for their trip across Alabama. They will travel down south to take on the Alabama State Lady Hornets, who just won earlier today. And A&M will go back on the road as they'll take on Prairie View and Texas Southern to kick off February basketball for a little Texas two-step there against those two great HBCU institutions from the SWAC conference. Oh, boy. Conference basketball is really heating up. I'm really excited.
You titled that a Texas two-step?
Yes, a Texas two-step. Yes. Okay, they're going to take a trip to the Lone Star State for a week, okay, for a weekend. There you go. It's a trip to the Lone Star State.
Hey, man, hey, whatever is good for you, Reggie, hey, it's good for me.
Southern, on the other hand, they won't return home until February 9th to play their arch rival, the Grambling State Tigers. So a lot of conference basketball still left to be played. And we'll see who will come out on top as the SWAC regular season champions going into the SWAC tournament.
That's very true. I mean, March is right around the corner, fellas. It will come right before you know it.
Here we go. Let's see what Southern will do, trying to work the offense around. Gets it over to Rose for the three. Off the left iron, misses. Davis had the rebound, but the Southern Lady Jag, that was number 22, Tanira Moore. She'll get the cleanup crew going on the offensive glass, and it's 34-27. Southern leads by 7 with 2:47 to go in the third quarter. Cobb crossover. Over to Collins. Collins will pump back to Brown. Collins doesn't want the three. She hasn't attempted a shot just yet. She'll drive, and it's a bad pass by Collins. She wanted the foul. They're in transition. Driving, blocked from behind, and it's a foul called on the court.
Well, as we can see from these Lady Bulldogs, you know, they're trying to rush to at least tie this game back or at least get a lead or something going for them, and they're making key mistakes that might hurt them later down the stretch.
I mean, the Lady Bulldogs, they looking like they're having a hard time trying to find their offense, man. You know, Southern, they're doing a great job on the defensive side, denying on the ball, double team. So, and they have to figure out how to get around this situation.
Well, I think A&M, I think they just still have to play within themselves. It's just an 8-point game. You have one more quarter to go. The third quarter's still nowhere near over. So as long as they can just continue to play it within themselves and play tough, they can turn this around just like that. At one point, they were down by 8 early on against the Lady Hornets in Birmingham, and they chopped away that wood, and they turned that 8-point lead down into a quick 32-30 A&M lead before the half ended. Pye with the basketball. Third quarter closing upon us. 2 minutes to go. Cobb will drive the reverse layup, no good, and it's touched out of bounds by number 42, Brianna Thompson. And A&M will maintain possession with Kenya Pye on the inbound. Pye trying to find the open woman. She will get it up to Cobb. Cobb with the basketball. Trying to work the offense. Evans will set the screen. She'll take it. She'll drive over to Brown. Brown won't shoot. Harper at the corner waiting for the shot. Trying to find herself open. But instead, Brown would pass it up to Evans, and Evans couldn't get a hold in the basketball, and it is Southern basketball as A&M will commit the turnover.
Ooh, another costly turnover.
And you know, Reg and Jerry, it looks like Carnita Brown hasn't found her game tonight, man.
She's been relatively quiet, Josh. She has been relatively quiet.
And that's right, man. I mean, she usually be a big three-point shooter, man. but it's tough for her. She can't get her shots off, or she can't get open for a shot.
Bringing the ball up the court is Courtney Parson, number 12. Parson out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. She'll take the screen that was set by Thompson, but kicks it back out to Coward. Rose, she'll drive, won't take the screen, and she will get the and one call for her. She'll get one more chance at the free throw line to try and get the three-point play. 38-27, Southern leads A&M with 1:24 to go in the third quarter of play.
You know, the Bulldogs, the Lady Bulldogs, they are playing a little too loose. You know, they have to keep their composure. Like I said, it's only the third quarter. They're down by 11. I mean, you know, it's easy just to chop that wood and try to get this game back into their favor.
I mean, Brittany Rose is leading this Southern team, man. I mean, A&M have to find a way to slow her down. If they can't do that, it's going to be a tough game tonight, man.
And checking in for Deshauna Harper is Lauren McKee. I'm sorry, not Deshauna Harper. Checking in is Lauren McKee. The three, no good by McKee. And in transition is Southern leading by 12, 39-27. Trying to waste clock with a minute to go.
Good. These Lady Bulldogs, they just need to try to stop them on some possessions so they can get the ball back and try to capitalize. And what a way.
Oh, boy, I think Alexis Evans is getting kind of angry. Oh, boy, that was a pretty big block, and they needed that momentum builder. She'll send it out of bounds into the student section. So one of our students got to be a part of the action real quick. Try and affect the game in any way possible, you know. Three from Rose, and the three by number 3. Brittany Rose is good for Southern, and it's now 42-27. Shot clock is winding down. Shot clock at 25 seconds. Game clock at 30. Dark with the basketball.
Right now, Harper shoots for a prayer.
No good, and it will go out of bounds. Southern won't touch, and A&M will lose the possession. 42-27, down by 15 just before the fourth quarter.
And guys, right now, Southern has this game in their favor. You know, with just 17 seconds left, the Lady Bulldogs are going to have to pick it up in this fourth quarter.
Here we go. Game clock winding down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Rose puts up a prayer, and she's way short. And it's 42-27 still going into the fourth and final quarter of play. The Lady Jags look pretty dominant, but the Lady Bulldogs have one more quarter of fight left in them. 42-27, Lady Bulldogs down by 15. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TM Elmore Gymnasium. Lady Bulldogs down 42-27, and you saw on your screen there Friday, February the 15th, 2019 at the Ernest Knight Living Complex and Learning Complex, dancing with the President and First Lady. That should be a very, very beautiful event there to dance with the top 2 people on campus, the President, Andrew Houdini Jr., and First Lady Houdini. So that should be a very wonderful event for all those who attend. Driving is Harper, and she will miss the layup. Dotson with the cleanup.
Beautiful recovery from Dotson and the putback.
And just like that, A&M makes it 45-29, trying to shrink the gap a little bit tighter.
Well, you know, fellas, in order for the Lady Bulldogs to get back in this game, they have to not look at that clock. They have to just keep playing hard and tough. And hopefully that when it comes back to that last minute, they will have tied the game or something against these Lady Jags.
Driving was Charles, and we have a foul on the court. And real quick, to step away from the action, once again, Dr. Houdini is here in the building, in the crowd, supporting the Lady Bulldogs here tonight. At the free throw line, Dania Charles, 45-29, trying to extend that Lady Jag lead. The Lady Bulldogs trying to keep that from happening. And the first free throw is
Bulldogs is number 2, Natalie Collins.
first free throw looks to be no good, and it's still 45-29.
And Southern right now in this game, they're shooting 10 out of 24 for the free throws.
Second free throw, no good.
Make that 10 out of 25.
Cobb with the rebound in transition. Here we go. 8:45 to go in the contest. Trying to find the open woman. Dotson wants the screen, but she won't do it. She'll stay at the three-point line. Cobb passes it up to McKee. McKee for the three, no good. Collins had the rebound, but she couldn't get there in time. Rebounded by Lyric Scott.
Now McKee misses, but she's trying to create something. I think that's what one of these Lady Bulldogs is going to have to do. Somebody's going to have to take that role to be a leader and try to create a play or something that gets them back in this game.
Here we go, just over 8 minutes to play in the contest. Southern trying to find the open woman. They're going to move the ball around, down in the low post. Posting up was Williams, and she'll miss. Dotson playing great defense. In transition is Cobb. She will drive. Right dribble, but she'll bring it back out to the three-point line. Over to McKee, to Collins. Collins won't shoot. She'll drive to Dotson, and it's out of bounds on Southern.
See, they create great turnovers, but they have to knock the shots down, get their offense going.
And coming in for the Lady Bulldogs is number 15, Kenya Pye, subbing in for Jamaica Cobb.
Most definitely. I mean, we've seen in each possession, which caused a lot of timeouts for the Lady Bulldogs, that the Lady Jags would just double team them or just triple team them and have them cornered that they can't go nowhere.
And let's see what A&M will do. Tierra Dark with the basketball. Crossover set from Collins. She'll go up with the easy shot, and it's money for Tierra Dark, and it's 45-31, down by 14, and the lead will shrink just a little bit tighter even still.
Nice step, nice possession from the Lady Bulldogs to get that shot in. But now they have to go back into defensive mode and try to stop these Lady Jags.
Chop down that wood. Don't stop chopping. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Let that will to win shine, and it's a foul on the court called by the refs. And it will be A&M possession. It was called against Southern, and inbounding is Kenya Pye of A&M. It was called against Southern, number 22, Tanira Moore.
But right now the Lady Bulldogs, they have the opportunity that they want. They got an easy turnover, and now they have to create a shot.
And you're right there. I mean, this drive right here will be the drive to bring their momentum back. I mean, they have to knock down a big shot right now.
Oh, boy. I think for A&M, we're going to see as the season continues whether or not they've learned how to win and how to close out. They have a great team. It's all about closing out, learning how to win, learn from your mistakes, and build on that moving forward. Let's see that Lady Bulldog pride show us. Collins for the three, no good. Dark with a great rebound, great hustle, spins, hook shot, no good. Collins didn't jump for the rebound, but A&M maintains possession because of Kenya Pye. Hold on. Under 7 minutes to go. That Lady Bulldog pride is showing on this possession. Screen set from McKee. Pye will drive. No foul. It's late. And we have a call on the ref. Let's have a call on the court. Let's see what the refs got.
And that was great hustle by Tierra Dark, man. She stayed with the play after her shot and brought the team back the ball.
Most definitely, man. I mean, Kenya Pye, getting that rebound back. You know, Collins, I don't know what happened on that play, but Kenya Pye came from nowhere, got the rebound back, and tried to drive it in.
And that was a blocking foul called against Southern as Kenya Pye will make the first free throw. And you saw that Lady Bulldog pride, that AMU pride shown on that last possession just now. 3 offensive rebounds back to back to back, playing hustle basketball.
You know, this is what Richard, she just preached. I mean, you know, you have to make these free throws.
Second free throw attempt for Kenya.
And
it is also good. The lucky bounce works.
You know, right now the Bulldogs, it's only a 12-point lead now. So the Bulldogs, they still have some chopping to do, as Reggie would eloquently so put it.
Here we go, down by 12, 45-33. Screen set. Here we go. Parson lost her hand a little bit, but she'll maintain possession. Dark defending. Going right. Passes it up. The corner three, no good by Towner. Rebounded by McKee. She will drive in transition. Going up tempo. Over. corner, three, Jones,
And
bang!
there it goes. And now they cut this lead to a single-digit 9 points.
And that's that momentum drive I've been looking for, man. I mean, that was a great three by Nigeria Jones.
Most definitely. I mean, the assist by Lauren McKee with the speed, and to see her from that perimeter outside. And now it's getting interesting with 5 minutes left.
And this is where champions are made of. Down by 9, 45-36. What has A&M done so far to cut down the lead to just 9 points?
Hustling. I mean, that's the correct term for that, hustling. I mean, they miss a shot. They come back for a second chance point. Lauren McKee with the speed, a great assist.
McKee for the three, no good. I really wanted that to go down.
But a great rebound by Kenya Pye. I mean, Pye and McKee, I mean, they have been hustling in this fourth quarter to bring this lead down.
Oh, my goodness. I believe in you, Lauren. Come on, McKee for the three. Let's make it happen. But you couldn't do it on that last possession. And let's see what A&M will do, as they will maintain possession despite the ball going out of bounds. McKee puts up the mid-range J, no good. Jones attempts one herself and knocks it down with ease. The lovely mid-range jump shot by Jones, and it's now 45-38. A&M down by 7.
An interesting twist of events for Jones. I mean, she just stood there, found the ball, said, hey, here it goes. And now they're only trailing by 7 points now, guys.
And that, y'all right, man. I mean, Nigeria Jones came out the business, dropped down like 4 unanswered points, man. It's crazy.
Most definitely. And the crowd is awake, too, here at the TM Elmore Gymnasium.
Here we go. Rose will drive. Dotson there. No foul. She'll miss the bucket. Rebound put up, and it's in. And the cleanup crew coming in effect for Southern is number 12, Courtney Parson. Gets the offensive rebound and the bucket to go. It's 47-38. We have a foul on the court. And Rich is trying to talk to her Jones, who, in my opinion, it's Nigeria Jones, Ashlyn Dotson. Those are her 2 core players. And you have a very balanced lineup outside of that, led by players like McKee and Pye and Dark and Collins, just to name a few, and Harper. And Nigeria Jones, to me, is the heart and soul of this Lady Bulldog team, along with her and Deshauna Harper and Ashlyn Dotson, that face-up face that you want playing center. That's one of the faces of your program.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you know, we talk about the offense and the defense they can have, but the hustle these girls have is also impressive as well.
Free throw was good, so she'll go 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Lauren McKee decreases the gap to 8, so it's 47-39. A&M down by 8 with 4:21 to go in the game.
You know, Jalen Red, during the foul shot, I mean, I was looking at Coach Margaret Rich and Nigeria Jones talking, man. Have you seen the bond between those two, man? I mean, she really trusts Nigeria Jones, man, and she's very confident in her.
I believe so. I believe she's one of the leaders on this team. As we have a foul on the court called against Southern, and she is one of the leaders on this team. Nigeria Jones, she is a unsung hero. She knows she doesn't need to score all the time to be a force on this team. To have her sheer presence on the court can make all the difference. Look at what's going on right now. Because of her presence on the court, they're now pulled back to within 8 points. That's Dark. She'll try to spin, and she will. She'll drive back out the Pie. To McKee for the three. Money! Yes! Lauren McKee for 3.
And that's the first 3 for these Lady Bulldogs, and it couldn't happen at a better time.
Lauren McKee for 3. Oh, boy. Oh, hold on, people. This crowd's getting rowdy. They don't like that. That's a foul called against A&M, and Southern will maintain possession. We have a lot of boos going on from the crowd right now. Josh, what were you about to say? I'm sorry. Lauren McKee for 3. I can't say it enough.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, they found a way to get Lauren going, man. She found the range.
Well, it's 47-42. Do not leave. We'll be right back in just a minute. 3:34 to go in the game. And we are back Live in the contest, TM Elmore Gymnasium, Normal, Alabama, on the campus of Alabama A&M University. Lady Bulldogs down by 5 against the Southern Lady Jags. Quick shout out to Southern University for shouting us out, for watching this broadcast as well. And they said they will do us the favor themselves when A&M comes down to Louisiana, and they'll broadcast their game on their YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for that, ladies and gentlemen. Dark, wild pass, Dotson saves it.
Nice save.
Great athleticism. Dark to Dotson.
That hustle.
Easy.
It is that hustle that is letting these Lady Bulldogs come back into this game against the Lady Jaguars.
And it's another foul called against A&M. I thought she lost the ball and went out of bounds, but it's a foul called against A&M.
And going back to that play with Tierra Dark, man, I mean, that was great vision, man. The no-look pass to Ashley Dawson for the book.
You know what's funny? At the start of this fourth quarter, gentlemen, it was 42-27. Now it's 49-44.
Well, that's what happens when you play with that Bulldog pride. 49-44, A&M down by 5, never giving up. And we'll see if Southern can answer. Southern has only scored 4 points ever since 8 minutes to go in the fourth. And in this fourth quarter, they've only scored 7. And we'll see what happens as Southern will try to get back on the board and try and get some momentum going. Driving was Charles. She passed it back out to Lyric Scott as Scott tried to drive. And it's a foul called against A&M as Scott will go to the free throw line. 2:26 to go in the game.
Well, you know, Coach Richards has preached this to her team. When things are not going your way, do not get frustrated, do not get tough. Learn to accept it and try to come up with a solution for it.
The ball game for Southern University is number 4, Skylar O'Meara.
And I mean, Southern missed their first free throw. Both teams have been struggling on the free throw line tonight, guys.
And that's been one of the names of the game, the free throws. Neither team really well adverse from shooting from the free throw line. Both teams really hovering at around between 50 and 60% as a team. So free throws are a hit or miss situation with both squads. As Cobb has the basketball with 2:20 to go in the game. It's a 6-point lead for Southern. Pye with the screen. Cobb trying to find the open woman. Dark trying to free herself up. Dotson posting up. Over to Pye for the 3, and it's good. Bang, bang, bang for Kenya Pye, and it's 50-46.
And Kenya Pye with a beautiful release, man. I saw that shot going in when she let it go.
Knocking that down from the Gulf Coast coming out of Tallahassee, Florida.
Well, you know, these are about to be the longest minute and 45 seconds in this game between the Lady Jags and Lady Bulldogs, as the Lady Bulldogs are trailing just by 4.
But Southern will get their own offensive rebound. And here we go.
And I think the Lady Jags are going to try to waste the clock just a tad bit.
50-46, down by 4 with a minute 24 to go.
You know, Southern has to be careful not to make a mistake, because the single mistake they make, it can affect the outcome of this game.
Here we go. Driving. Puts up the mid-range J. No good by Charles. And with a minute 8 to go in the game, it's a foul on the court. Charles put up the mid-range jump shot. Southern could not find the open woman as A&M played great defense on that last possession just now. But the Lady Jags will look to maintain possession. Dania Charles will inbound for Southern. And this Southern basketball team, they could be getting a bit rattled by this A&M crowd. Elmore Gymnasium right now has become a pretty evident home court, environment for the Bulldogs.
You know, Reg, after that play, it's very confusing because they're trying to call a shooting foul, and and she wasn't shooting. They was going after the rebound, so it's kind of weird. It was bad. That was a bad call, man.
That is weird, considering the fact that A&M is currently in the bonus, but we have a quick pause of action on the court. A minute 8 to go in the game. Southern leads 50-46. But we'll see what Coach Richards will dial up as the referees are going over there trying to talk about what's going on. And please talk this out. Let's get something going. I'm a Patriot fan, and I got to say, these past couple games, the refs have not been too great for anybody.
Yeah. I think everybody kind of ignored you as soon as you said Patriots fan. But, that's not a hitter there.
Listen.
I think the Saints took it the hardest, man.
Look, even in basketball, James Harden getting fouls left and right. Fouls being called everywhere, and now here we are here. But 50-46, A&M down by 4 here at Elmore Gymnasium. We'll be back in a second. Let's see what the refs will talk about. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And after some deliberation from the referees, they will agree Southern got the foul called for them, so they will maintain possession. A&M did commit the foul just now, driving, and that's another foul called against the Lady Bulldogs, and that will send number 4, Skylar Aubert, to the free throw line. Foul was called against Kenya Pye. Aubert was driving, trying to get the layup going, and it was a tough contact from Kenya Pye just now.
Most definitely. This is going to be 2 important free throws for the Lady Jaguars.
Here we go. Trying to rattle Aubert at the free throw line. And I got to say, with the resurgence of A&M basketball, the way the girls are playing tough, the way the guys play tough night in and night out, I think it's safe to say Elmore Gymnasium has become a pretty tough environment for opposing teams to play in for the past 2 years.
Most definitely. I mean, we preached this last year, and a lot of people laughed at us and thinking it was impossible, but now they see that the results are coming in, and especially with the women's basketball and the men's basketball and just all other sports, in particular with A&M surrounding our campus. I mean, A&M is on the up and up.
And I totally agree with you guys, man. I mean, the coaching staff, the new coaching staff, A&M brought in, man, from football to basketball. The defense is phenomenal, man.
As Dark will drive, and she'll get the easy layup in transition after the misses by Aubert at the free throw line. Home court advantage coming in full effect. It's 58-48 with 56 seconds to go in the game.
Gentlemen, we have a game. We have a game.
Oh, boy.
A&M controlled that first half, and then the Lady Jaguars in that second quarter, in the second half, pretty much has been dominating, but now in the fourth quarter, these teams are on the neck and neck of each other.
Well, it's just a 2-point gap, 50-48, 56 seconds to go in the game. Coach Richards versus Coach Funches. It's a battle of 2 SWAC opponents. We'll be back with you in a second after this timeout. Lady Jags lead by a possession.
These Lady Bulldogs, they have to get this possession. They have to stop them and get the ball and try to create a play.
3 by Southern. It's no good. A&M nearly had the rebound, and they're going to call a quick foul on the court. Jaden Towner attempted a 3 just now, but it was rebounded.
Well, if she makes 1 free throw, that'd just be a 3-point game, and A&M will have to quickly answer with a 3 of their own.
Well, we'll see what happens. Let's see if number 12, Courtney Parson, can make 1 of 2 or go 0 for 2. First free throw is good, and it's 51-48.
Under that pressure, too. It's not easy to make a shot with under that pressure.
I mean, the game is not going to be over, guys. I mean, they can come down the court, score a quick bucket, and, they stay out of time to play some defense.
It just depends on how many seconds are left when they score that bucket.
Second free throw attempt by Parsons. No good, so you predicted it. It's a 3-point game. Cobb with the basketball, up to Harper.
And right now, I would still shoot in the mid-range. I wouldn't try for a 3 yet. It's still early.
McKee for the 3, no good. And Dark swipes it out of bounds, and Southern will still get possession.
Ouch. I wouldn't even try. I wouldn't try for a 3 in that one. I would have been patient and try to get something inside the paint and then force them to shoot from the free throw line.
Oh, boy. 51-48 with 18 seconds left. in the game.
Most definitely. You know, this is basketball. You know, it's like chess. You know, you have to have strategic plays in order to accomplish the game.
And I don't think that was a good shot, man. They should have went for the quick too.
Yeah, that was a step back three by Lauren McGee. She's more of a set shooter, not so much of a off the dribble type shooter. And I gotta say, I agree with you, bad shot selection, but I guess she felt the hot hand. 51-48 at the free throw line. Lyric Scott, first free throw attempt is good. So it's now a 4-point game with 16 seconds to go.
To the ball game for the Jaguars. Number 5, Charles, number 22.
Coming onto the court for Southern, number 22. That's Tanira Moore. Lyric Scott, second free throw attempt. No good. Dotson had the rebound, but Dark will get it. Pushing the pace in transition. Final 10 seconds. Dark, mid-range. From Dark, it's good.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Just an easy mid-range shot. They still have time. Force them in the free throw line.
Almost created the turnover.
Exactly. And if they miss one, you can still hit for that three-pointer.
Oh boy, both teams are in the bonus. Neither team can afford to foul.
I mean, let's talk about Dark with that great shot selection. You know, she was trying to find somebody to pass it to in the mid-range. She shot it. It went in. I mean, just great eye and vision from Dark.
And that's why I love Tierra Dark game, man. I mean, she's an amazing player. She knows how to take the best shot for her team, and she knocked down the best shot at the right time.
Exactly, and this is the most important shot now.
At the free throw line, number 12, Courtney Carson. She will make the first. Second free throw attempt, 53-50. Second one is, no, it is good. It will get the lucky bounce in. So it's 54-50 with 7 seconds to go in the game. Timeout called on the court. Who will get the play? Can they find a way to force overtime at the very least? Puts it up, Harper misses, and that will do it. So coming out of the timeout, A&M drew up a play. They couldn't get it to work, so the Lady Bulldogs fall to the Lady Jags, 54-50 late. That 15-point comeback erased by the Lady Bulldogs, but they couldn't do enough to close the deal. They couldn't do enough to seal the deal. Jalen, Josh, A&M, like we said before, they had a tough time trying to close out games. Are they getting better though?
Most definitely. I mean, because let's think about this. Would you rather get blown out, or would you rather lose close? I mean, they was down by 15 points coming into the fourth quarter, and they came all the way back, shortened by 4, but they didn't get blown out. They came all the way back and was close to tying this game or even winning the game.
And I think that it was I'm sorry. They're getting better at their defensive game, man. You know, and they getting better as a team as a whole. You know, they're confident. You can tell they've been practicing a lot. You know, they hustling a lot. You know, so they're getting better. You know, mistakes happen, and they're bound to see this team again.
Exactly. I mean, last year, you know, with the lead Southern had on them, they could have just squandered. But this season, they came back, and they fought no matter what. And even though they lost by 4 points, it's always about, would you rather lose getting blown out, or would you rather lose by coming close?
And you know, A&M,